All right. So another reason why Airbnb is because of the healthy competition. Now we have a lot of businesses available. You have people selling multiple things on Instagram, right? Now there's a lot of competition in those areas. But with Airbnb, there's competition, but there's also a very, very high demand. So you're always going to make profit. There's always going to be room to accommodate more people. That's why you have healthy competition. And it's also a competition that still makes you good money. So even when there's competition, you're still able to scale well and make a lot of money for yourself. Also, Airbnb allows you to build internationally. So one of my coach always tells me, if you want to make good money, build locally, build within your country, build within your states when it comes to your business. But if you want to make a lot of money, you want to start thinking about building outside your premises, you want to start thinking about building internationally so that you can start to make foreign income as well, right? Also, Airbnb can replace your current income very fast. So whatever it is you do, if you work a 9-to-5 job, Airbnb can make you way more than what you're making in your current job really fast, in literally like a month. All right. So you don't also need to own properties for you to start up your Airbnb business. So if you own properties, that's already fine, but you don't need to own properties in order for you to start up your Airbnb business. Also, short-term rentals is more profitable than long-term rentals. And I'm sure everybody can agree with me, right? It's more profitable when you rent a property on a daily basis than when you rent it for the whole year. Because when you're renting for the whole year, of course, it's way cheaper than when you're renting on a daily basis, right? So let's compare Airbnb and hotels. Now, this is one of the reasons why Airbnbs are really making huge waves these days, because people are starting to prefer Airbnbs to hotels. One of the reasons is because you have more privacy. I have a lot of people that say that they would rather go to an Airbnb rather than a hotel, right? Also, Airbnbs have more space, right? Of course, in a hotel, you're just confined to a bedroom, a bed, and a bathroom. But with Airbnb, you have more space. Also, the amenities in Airbnbs are more, of course, than in hotels. For example, in an Airbnb, you might not even have in a hotel rather, you might not have a microwave. That's just an example. But in an Airbnb, you have more amenities. It's also very cost effective because when you check how much you're paying, the value you're getting in terms of space, comfortability, and all of that. There are some hotels that actually charge very expensive fees. There are hotels of like 150K nights. But if you spend that on an Airbnb, you have more space, you have more comfort, and you have more privacy. All right. So also it gives you more comfort. It gives a more homely feeling, of course. And Airbnbs come with a kitchen, so you can actually save money for food. So when you go to a conventional hotel, you can't cook, of course, in a hotel, but in an Airbnb, you can actually have a kitchen. So you don't need to spend money buying hotel food. You can actually save your money and cook for yourself and get that homely feeling that you want. All right. So ways to do Airbnbs. I just want to say, if you're on this call, you want to make sure that you have a notepad and a pen so that you're taking notes of everything that I'm teaching. All right. So there are 3 ways that you can do Airbnb. The first way is called rental arbitrage. So with rental arbitrage, you basically rent other people's properties long-term, and then you sublease it on Airbnb or other rental sites with the owner's permission, and then you make short-term income. So it's basically like renting a house for the whole year. Like normally, if you're in Nigeria, for example, if you're paying your rent, you're paying on a yearly basis, right? So if you're renting a house for a whole year and you're paying, for example, a Millionaire on that house, and you're now subleasing that house on Airbnb, you're now using the house for short-term rentals, and you get to pay, and let's say you're renting out to customers at, let's say 50K a night, right? For the whole year, and you have the house for yourself for the whole year. When you calculate your profit long-term, you're making more money. Even on other countries where you're paying rent on a monthly basis, you can still work, because when you subtract the rent you're paying on a monthly basis, you're still going to make a lot of profits for yourself. All right, so that's how rental arbitrage works. The second way is management or host. So this is basically when you manage other people's properties and you share profits with them. So with management or hosting, you can actually make up to 10 to 30% of the profits. And the third one is property ownership. Property ownership, you basically buy a property, right? You own the property and you use it for short-term rentals. So in this case, all of the profits belong to you. The difference between rental arbitrage and hosting is that in rental arbitrage, most likely you're going to have to furnish the property. So you're renting an apartment that's empty, right? If you're lucky enough, you could actually get an apartment that is already fully furnished. Your actual apartments are already fully furnished. And then you're furnishing it if it's not fully furnished, and then you're listing on Airbnb. So that way you're making like majority of the profits. The only thing you're having to pay off is your monthly rent and maybe other monthly fees like utilities, cleaning, and all of that. But with hosting, you're not having to rent the property. So you already have someone doing rental arbitrage with that property. You're just having to manage the property for those people, right? So you could actually make 10 to 30% of the profit. But I'm going to go into that more along the call. So now what are the stages? The first stage is that you need to establish your own legal entity. The second stage, you need to find your space, right? Find the space where you're going to use for Airbnb. The third stage is getting permissions from the landlord, from the owners of the property for you to list them on Airbnb, because it's actually illegal for you to do it without their permission. The fourth stage is for you to furnish the property. The fifth stage is for you to list your space on Airbnb. The sixth stage is for you to build a power team. Next, you automate your business, and then you can expand, scale, and now start to go international. So when we talk about establishing your own legal entity, it's talking about you actually having your business thing registered. And that gives you access to certain privileges. For example, it gives you access to financing sources. There are people that prefer to use a loan, right, or use credit to furnish their Airbnbs. And this is actually what successful people do. They take loans, right? They use their debts to fund their income, if that makes sense. So you're not taking debts for, you're not taking debts that don't make sense, right? You're taking a debt and you're putting it in a business that you're sure you're making profits from, and you're making profits from, and you're still able to make enough money to pay off your debts. So you're just using your debt to finance your income. You're making more profit for yourself, and then you're able to pay off your debts. That's what Airbnb can do for you. All right, so it gives you access to financing sources. You could also get investors as well, right? It also helps you to protect your intellectual property in cases of damage or dispute and all of that. It helps you to get the necessary licenses and permits. So in certain countries or certain regions, right, you need to get certain licenses from your local authorities. All right, so for you to establish certain businesses in certain areas, you need a certain license from the local authority. So when your business is registered and when you've established your legal entity, you'll be able to get all of that. So that's the first stage when you're starting up your Airbnb. The second stage is for you to find your space. I hope I'm not going too fast, because sometimes I tend to go really fast. I just hope that, everyone is catching up with what I'm saying, and I hope that you're taking notes. The second stage is for you to find your space. Now, what are the things I need to consider when you're finding your space? The first thing is that you want to consider areas with high demand for Airbnbs. And I said in brackets, don't assume. You actually need to do your research. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, Airbnb is not a business where you use assumptions to act. They're actually, there are steps that you need to follow. You actually need to do your market research, right? And there are sites that would help you find your market research. For example, you're going to be researching for average occupancy rates. For example, if your Airbnb is in an area where most people that travel, they travel in pairs of twos, right? And you have an Airbnb that is a 5-bedroom flat, you're not going to get clients, you're not going to get customers. Why are you not getting customers? Because the area that your Airbnb is an area where people mainly travel in group of twos. So if you have a property that has a 5-bedroom flat, that has a 5-bedroom property, basically, you're not going to get customers because people don't want a 5-bedroom apartment. They're going to have to pay more. They don't want to have to pay that much, right? So you want to do your research to make sure you know the average occupancy rates, right? You know what other Airbnb hosts are charging in that area. So you can also use that to set your price so that you're not setting your price too high or too low, right? You want to know how people travel. You want to know how frequently people book Airbnbs and all of that. So you need to do your market research. And there are sites that you need to do your market research from. There are sites that are already custom for those purposes that you're just going to use to find best places for Airbnbs, places that have high demand for Airbnbs, occupancy rates, what other hosts are charging in those areas and all of that. The second thing is that you want to consider areas with tourist attractions. Of course, if you're traveling to another country or another state, if you're traveling for visiting, the normal thing is that you want to go out, you want to visit places that are nice and all of that. So you want to consider getting an Airbnb in those kind of areas. Also, you want to look for properties that can make you a certain income margin per month. So for example, if you want to ensure that every single month you're able to make $2,000, this is an example, you want to look for properties that can give you that. So you're looking for properties that when you furnish, when what are the average prices that people are charging in those areas? You want to consider certain things like prices that people charge in those areas, the price you're paying for rents and all of that, so that after all the plus and minus, you're able to come out with your profits of $2,000. Also, you want to set your price in line with supply and demand for different seasons. So when you're looking for your properties, of course, you're going to start estimating how much you're setting your prices for and all of that. Now, in different periods in the year, the supply and demand changes, right? So for example, during the festive periods, people are most likely to book Airbnbs. A lot of people travel during the festive period. Airbnbs are in high demand during the festive period. So during the festive period, your prices are of course going to be way higher than your prices within other periods in the year, because you're going to have more customers, more demand for Airbnb. So you want to adjust. And in areas in the year or in times in the year where Airbnbs don't have a lot of attention, or they don't have a lot of bookings, you're going to learn how to also adjust your price to come down so that you can also accommodate people. Now, getting permission to STR. STR means short-term rental. So you're going to get permission to short-term rental, to list your property or to sublease your property. And this is very important actually, because if you don't get permission, you can't make income, right? So you need to be able to get permission from the landlords to be able to use their properties for Airbnb, right? Now you need to learn how to give the landlords an offer that they cannot say no to. You need to learn a lot of negotiations, right? You need to learn the offers that you should give the landlords. You need to give them something that they know that, okay, this is like, I'd rather take this deal than just rent my apartment to somebody. This is better. This is more profitable for me, right? And you need to be able to convince them that they're going to get paid on time. Their property is properly taken care of, and they just want to make passive income. They just want to know that their property is safe, and they just want to know that, they are getting paid on time. So once you can offer this to them, once you can negotiate your offers properly with them, then you'll be good to go and you'll be profitable as well. Now, furnishing your property. Furnishing your property, if you're doing hosting, you might not need to go through this stage. Also, if you're doing hosting, you wouldn't need to speak directly to the landlords, because people that are doing rental arbitrage are probably already doing that step for you. So you don't need to do, or you won't need to get through this space or furnish your property. But if you're doing rental arbitrage, right, furnishing property is something you need to think about, and you need to make sure that you're furnishing your property in a way that it's looking attractive and unique without you spending a lot of money. So when you keep doing it, when you start owning multiple Airbnbs, the more you keep doing it, the more you know how to channel your prices in a way that you're also going to be profitable. All right. So the next thing you need to think about is building a power team, right? You can't do everything yourself. You need cleaners, you need to outsource cleaning, you need to think about hosting, you need to think about security, all of those things. But when you start to expand, right, maybe at the beginning, you could start by cleaning your Airbnbs, right? But when you start to expand, the point is that you want to start to make passive income, right? So when you start to expand, you need to think about building a team so that you can, hands off your property and still make money while other people are running it and you're paying them to do all of those things. So you're going to learn how to, manage that and build a team over time. You're also going to learn you also need to learn how to automate your business, which is the next stage of the steps, of course, because we are in an era where you can do so much with your mobile phone. You can run this business just with your mobile phone at home or anywhere you are in the world. Now, how do you automate your business? There are tools that can help you automate your business. There are ways that you can automate your task bar. So you can actually manage your business, manage your, like if you own multiple Airbnbs, there are tools that can help you manage your Airbnbs all on the same task bar. There are tools that can help you manage your team as well. You'll be able to send tasks. When customers leave the Airbnb, you're going to be able to send messages to them to tell them, okay, it's time to clean this Airbnb, it's time to do this. There are ways that you can automate your business, basically. So you don't need to be present doing all of the work for yourself. You can actually automate it and be able to run it from your computer, from anywhere you are in the world. Now, the next stage is that you're now thinking about how to expand your business. You're thinking about how to scale and go international. So you're just basically following the same steps over and over again. You want to secure multiple Airbnbs across your country because that's the long-term goal. If you're starting with a property and after your plus and minus, right, you're making $2,000 a month, right? If you keep that up for, let's say, 6 months, that would be about $12,000, right? You can now use it to start another Airbnb and start on that Airbnb. And then next thing you've compounded and you have multiple properties bringing you income on a monthly basis. So that's the end time goal, right? You're going to learn, and you need to learn, rather, you're going to start to generate rental income from all your properties simultaneously. You're going to have everything automated and you're going to earn foreign and local passive income. All right. Now, let's give a practical example. Now, let's say that the average price per night for an Airbnb is $310. That's what you're charging on a nightly basis, right? You're charging $310 on a nightly basis. Average occupancy rates, let's say that they get booked for 21 days on that Airbnb. At the end of the month, you're going to make $6,510. Now, if you're paying for hosting, right, you need to consider that from your rent. You're going to consider that from your profits, rather, which is your gross rent is $6,510. So when you subtract your rent, when you subtract your cleaning payments, when you subtract your utilities and all of that, you're going to be left with $2,010 in a month on just one Airbnb. So you can now do this with multiple Airbnbs simultaneously, bringing you rental income every single month. All right. Now, even as a host, right? As a host, let's say you're making 10 to 30% of the profits, right? Now, if you're making 10%, if the person doing rental arbitrage is paying you 10% of the profits that you're making, that means that you're getting paid $200, right? If they're paying you 20%, you're getting paid $400. If they're paying you 30%, you're getting paid $600. So now imagine what you can do or what you can earn when you do this simultaneously. Let's say you're even making the least, which is 10%, $200 multiplied by 3 properties in a month, that's already about $600 in a month from hosting, and you don't need properties for this. Now, the third one is basically property ownership. So when you own the property, you don't need to pay rent. So all of the income that comes to you. That's after you paid for your cleaning, your utilities, and all of that. Now, this is a tip that I give. My advice is always negotiate your terms in a way that you profit. So, for example, if you are a host, you want to negotiate your terms with the people you're hosting for, right? Or the people you're managing their properties in a way that you're going to make a higher income. You're negotiating for them to pay you higher, right? So you want to negotiate your payments in a way that you get paid up to 30%. If you're doing rental arbitrage, you want to negotiate in a way that you're paying the host lower. So you're basically just working to make sure you're making profits, right? You can also draw up what duties you want them to perform and pay them accordingly. It's not compulsory to have a host, but you will need someone to manage your properties if you want to completely be hands-off in your business. So you don't need to have a host actually, but long term, when you want to get your hands completely off of your business, you need a host. And I'll show you the job of a host, right? The importance of a host. And also you might need someone to check in from time to time, e.g. for maintenance, in case you don't, you need someone to check in from time to time for maintenance. In that case, you don't need to pay much at all. You can get a family friend or a close person to do that for you. So now, what are the duties of a host? These are some of the duties of a host. Now, a host can be responsible for creating your Airbnb profile and listing, right? A host can be able to respond to 100% of initial guest inquiries within minutes. So they manage your account, they're responding to guests and all of that. They are providing a 24/7 local emergency contacts, right? Coordination of all maintenance issues. They are going to be the main point of contact for the guests. They're going to connect your Airbnb listing to third-party intelligent pricing partners, right? So they're also even going to market for you. They're going to get clients for you. They're going to handle any resolution claimings resulting from any reservation, coordination with your cleaners, right? Coordination of late check-in and, requests and all of that. Continually optimize your Airbnb listing for high Airbnb search placement. So you need to actually learn how to optimize. These are part of the things that you need to learn, how to optimize your listing in a way that you are appearing on the front page of Airbnb. But I'm coming to that. You're going to need to create a digital guidebook for your guests, right? These are the jobs of a host, by the way. Replenish of consumables, for example, toilet paper, tissue, soap, garbage bags, etc. Key management, if applicable. Create a seamless check-in experience for the guests. They're going to be your main point of contact for all issues, responsible for accounting and tax remittance. Most of this you can actually perform and automate, actually. So most of these duties of a host, those are things that you can perform. For example, you can create your Airbnb profile listing, right? You can respond to guests yourself. You can do basically everything, but the things that you feel like are going to be a lot for you, you can now pay a host to do that for you. So you can negotiate what you want them to do. That's when you're doing rental arbitrage, and pay them accordingly. I actually just realized that I missed a slide. So let me just go back and reshare so I can show you that slide. So just give me 1 second. So yes, I missed this part, listing your Airbnb, which is actually like the third stage of starting up your Airbnb business, actually getting to list your Airbnbs. And this is actually the most important stage because it could make or break your business. Now, listing your space, the first thing that you want to think about, once your property is listed on Airbnb, you want to get it to rank on the first page of Airbnb to ensure that many people see your listing. So you know that there are multiple people running that have Airbnbs on the platform. Airbnb is a platform. There are multiple people that have apartments on Airbnb. So what makes your own apartment stand out? You need to now find ways to make your apartment rank on the first page of Airbnb. So one of the things you should consider is your photography. Now, photography is very important, but a lot of people miss this or underrate it, right? If you go to an Airbnb profile or any short-term rental site, the pictures that you see will determine what exactly what Airbnb you pick. So you could see an Airbnb that's even like in person that would be finer than another one, and pick the second one because that one looks more quality in pictures. So you should even think about hiring a photographer to actually take your Airbnb, high ticket pictures. And besides, it's just going to be a one-time thing because that's what you're going to continually use for that Airbnb. Now, another thing you want to think about is your listing description, right? So you want to be able to describe under your listing in a way that is explanatory, right? In a way that customers can understand when they come to your page. So these are part of the things that help your page to rank on the first page of Airbnb site or any other sites. Another thing is you want to learn to give quick responses to guests. So when someone texts to find out details and all of that, you want to be able to reply ASAP. Those are part of the things that help you to rank as well. Another thing is descriptive keywords. What do I mean by descriptive keywords? What are those things that when people come on Airbnb sites or short-term rental sites, what are those keywords that they would literally punch in to search for? So you want to be able to use keywords that when people type in, your page comes out because you use those keywords. You also want to think about getting good reviews. All right, so let me go back to sharing my other screen because I missed the slide before actually. If you're getting value so far, just type in the chat box, type value. I know that the chat is locked, but just send it as a direct message. I would see it. Let me know if you're getting value. Let me know if what I'm saying is making sense to you. Just type value in the chat box if you're getting value and if you understand everything. Okay, I see value. Amazing. I'm glad. Okay. So now let's talk about what is possible. Now, these results I'm about to show you are not attainable if you do not put in the work that needs you to get to the top. But so much is really possible from Airbnb. It will require you to put in the effort, but waking up to bookings and making money while you sleep is definitely worth it. So at the beginning phase, you're going to need to put in a lot of work, make sure you're getting everything right, your listing, your negotiations, your offers, your plus and minus and all of that. But it's definitely worth it at the end, right? So now these are some results. I was able to just, combine results from some of my team members and some other people that I follow that are into Airbnb, just to show you. Someone is writing on my screen. I'm going to kick you out of the meeting room. I don't want any form of distractions. Great. All right, great. So just to show you, some of the things that are possible. So I don't know if you can see this clearly. This first place, actually, this first review or this first screenshot, this person actually successfully started her Airbnb business in just a month after taking a course on Airbnb. And she's been able to scale well, right? And she's making good money for herself. Now, these are other figures that are possible. Now, this is a payout for just 3 nights. Now, 3 nights of getting paid, or 3 nights of your Airbnb being booked, you could actually make $300 because that's what she made here. $300 from just 3 nights. In Nigeria, on an average, how many people actually make up to $300 from their jobs in a month? Right, very, very low percentage. You know that the situation in Nigeria, for example, is really bad. So people don't even have good pay. But on Airbnb, you can actually make $300 from just one property. From just one property. And you know that the system in Nigeria could actually be adjusted in sense that you can actually pay your rent for a full year and still list your property on Airbnb and get paid on a daily basis. I hope that makes sense. So you're paying your rent once, you're paying a whole rent for a year, but you are getting booked on a daily basis. So imagine how much you're making from that Airbnb at the end of the entire year. You're going to be making a lot of money. All right. So these are other, examples. This is 28 nights, right? This person booked for 28 nights and she made $2,262, $62, right? $2,262. I'm sure you can calculate that in Naira and see what that means. And this is just from one listing. So imagine, I've seen people that have started Airbnb and in a year, they really dedicated themselves to Airbnb. They were able to, get at least like 5 properties. Imagine you having 5 properties bringing you this kind of income on a monthly basis. So 2,000 times 5 is already $10,000 in a month on just Airbnb. And this is just on an average, because there are some months that you will do better than others. There are some months you could get booked for 28 days. There are months that you could get booked in advance. There are times where, customers come and you're getting booked for January, February, March already in advance. You understand? So, yeah, these are other, examples. This person on the first slide, she started her Airbnb, and this was her first 11 months in Airbnb. Imagine starting up a business and in your first month, a lot of people are asking me about the recording on the chat box. Can you guys just give it a second? After the call, I would share the recording to a few people, but you want to make sure that you're on the call till the end, because I have something special at the end of the call, but just pay attention, don't get distracted, right? So first 11 months on Airbnb, May, she made $3,000, June, $4,000, July, $5,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, then we have $11,000, we have $9,000, $10,000, $13,000, $32,000. Now, guys, this is compounding, because in her first month, which is May, she probably just had 1 property. Now, her second month, third month, fourth month, she probably scaled to 2 properties, 3 properties, and now had multiple properties giving her income at the same time. That's why I talk about compounding, because over time, you would make this a full-blown thing for you. You're going to have multiple properties running and bringing you income simultaneously. So you wouldn't even have to work. You could literally be anywhere you are in the world and be generating income for yourself from all of your properties and have everything automated. So you could automate everything in a way that you don't need to be present. You don't need to do any work. You have someone managing it for you, or you're managing it from your computer, whichever one you prefer for yourself, and you're making a lot of money for yourself passively. All right, passively, emphasis on passively. Now, this is another person, August $22,000, September 13,000. I'm just showing you guys the figures that are possible from Airbnb, but this doesn't come without you actually doing the work, without you getting the steps right, right? This is another person in his first year, $28,000, second year, $62,000, third year, $128,000, fourth year, $220,000. Now this person is making over $1 million in a year from Airbnb. This is another one. This was just June booking, right? This person made $12,000, and this is how your mail, you want your mail to look. Waking up to see bookings in your mail, right? You already booked for several months ahead. This is what you want your emails to look like, right? This is another example. For just August, this person made over $10,000 from Airbnb, from just one property. Now, let's do some Q&As, right? These are, some questions that people usually ask me. So I just decided to bring the answers to them here. The first one, should I start in my hometown or should I start in a different state? I would advise that you start in your hometown because you're more familiar with your home environment. You're more familiar with the laws in your environment. You can actually monitor your business as well because you're just starting. Of course, the first time you're starting, you're not going to be a professional, right? But like the first time, it's more advisable for you to start where you are so that you can actually, see certain things, or maybe where you have easy access to, even if it's not your current location. All right. So what if you don't come out in profit when you get started? You will come out in profits when you get started. There's no doubt that you would, as long as you follow all the steps properly. You learn how to negotiate with your landlords in order for you to get the best offers. Right, you learn how to list your Airbnb the right way, how to make your Airbnb rank in the top front page, right? Guys, so many times that I've tried to get Airbnbs, I always have to go through a lot because there's a lot of demand for Airbnbs. Every single time that I wanted to get an Airbnb is either, you're making reservations or you're making calls, and the next thing, the call you're making for a particular apartments, the apartment just got booked immediately. There's high demand for it. So there's a lot of rooms to accommodate people. All you need to do is go through the steps the right way. You need to make sure you're negotiating well. You need to make sure you're doing all your calculations properly, all your plus and minus, what you're paying for, your cleaning, your hosting, your utilities, all of that, and make sure that you're still coming out in profit, right? So once you're doing all of that, you're going to be good. Are there scripts for landlords, scripts that you could use to pitch to landlords to let them allow you use their properties? There are. I'm going to come to that. When is it okay to quit my job? It's okay to quit your job. If you want to go into Airbnb right now, but maybe you work in a 9-to-5 job, I would say stay in your 9-to-5 job, use your 9-to-5 job to fund your first property. And then after you start to make income from your first property, leave your job, because then you can now use your first property to now scale to multiple other properties and start to make income simultaneously. What are the offers I can negotiate with my landlords? I'm going to come to that as well. How do you automate your business? There are several tools that you can use to automate. Like I said, there are tools that can help you to manage all your properties on the same taskbar. There are tools that can help you to even automated messages. So even when people send you messages for your Airbnb for requests and all of that, there are automated ways that you can respond to them without you actually responding to them. So there are tools and all of that that you use to automate your business. How much money do you need to start up an Airbnb? I would say it depends on you, and it depends on what kind you're doing. So if you want to do rental arbitrage, or you want to do management, or you want to do property ownership, so you want to be the owner of the property, it depends on you. If you're doing rental arbitrage, you can start small and scale big. So you can start from a 2-bedroom apartment or a 3-bedroom apartment. You don't have to start from a 5-bedroom or a duplex and all of that. You can start from a 3-bedroom apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment in a nice place, furnish it and start there. Use the income from there to now fund your other ones, just to make sure that whatever you're doing, you're staying profitable. Because a lot of times you can tend to lose yourself in the process. When you're furnishing your property, you want everything to look extra nice. You want spend over, right? So all those things, you need to take note of all those things. Make sure that you are calculating your profits, your revenue, and all of that, so that you're not going to come out in a loss, basically. Would you get started even if you don't have enough money to get a property? Yes, there are other ways you can start. You can start by learning, right? You can start by doing hosting as well. So you don't have to get a property. You don't need a property in order for you to start. Do we have a course or mentorship program to walk us through? Yes, we definitely do. So that's where I'm going to. Where do I start? Now, you see the results that, you see what is possible. You know the steps to follow through and all of that. Well, now you actually need to get a full course or a guide that can help you through. Why? This masterclass, I showed you all the basics of what you need for you to start up an Airbnb business. But inside those basics, there are certain things that you need to learn that are very, very important. For example, negotiating your lease with the landlords. Now, a lot of people start up Airbnbs and they can't even get through the stage of getting a landlord or closing a deal with the landlords, right? That's like one of the first significant stages I need to go through when you're starting your Airbnb. Once you can negotiate with the landlord and actually get them to lease the property to you, then you can negotiate with another landlord and multiple landlords while you're scaling. But if you can't get through that first stage of getting an offer, it means that you don't know enough to be able to. So you need to learn things like how to negotiate with the landlords, how to pitch to the landlord, what are the things that you need to say to the landlords in order for them to give you their properties. And now they need to learn what are the offers I can make to them. When I say offers, I mean like payments plan. So are you going to be paying on a monthly basis? Are you going to be paying on a yearly basis? So for example, it could be that he usually charges a million naira for his rent, but this time, because you're doing rental arbitrage, he's going to charge you 1.5 million. Or you're paying him on a monthly basis. So all those things, you need to learn the different offers that can make you more profitable. So you need to have yourself in mind. You're not thinking about the landlord. You're thinking about him. You're giving him deals, but you're also being smart in order for you to stay profitable, because that's the goal, to stay profitable. So you need to learn the offers, learn how to pitch the landlords. You need to learn how to ensure that your listing is on the first page of Airbnb. This is very important. Once you can get this stage right, you'll be fine, right? What are those descriptive words that you need to use? What are those things that I need to do? How do I do my photography, right? How do I get my listing to the rank on the first page? How do I attend to my customers? What do I need to do when customers get, there's a whole lot that you need to learn. That's why you need a course. Now, the course would avoid you wasting time, because a lot of people, I'm sure there are people on this call that have done research. I personally, before I went into Airbnb, I did a lot of research, but no research was detailed enough and had enough information in one place to allow me to actually start. So getting a full course or getting a guide or a coach or a mentor and all of that would avoid you all the time you would waste on several articles and all of that. It would literally point out the things that you need to do, and you're going to have good direction. It also speeds up your success rates 10 times faster, right? If you don't want to have to make costly mistakes that would make you lose thousands of dollars just to start up a business that should be profitable, trust me, you need a guide. And I'm really emphasizing on this. A lot of people start up Airbnb businesses and they don't come out profitable. Guys, look at everything I am talking about. These are not mere things that you think. It's not like starting a hair business or starting a shoe business. It's not a small baby's job. Do you understand? It's a job that actually brings people very good income, thousands of dollars. It's a job, it's a business that people that are very successful are doing. Look at how many people are into real estate, right? Look at how much money they are making. You know that this is something that you really, really want to be intentional about. So you don't want to have to make costly mistakes. You don't want to have to spend money and get started and lose your money because you don't know how to optimize well. You don't need to have to go through go through processes that you should benefit from and lose from them. Do you understand? So also the essence of getting a guide is because you'll be learning from people who have the results that you want. They have made certain mistakes, and because they have made those mistakes, you do not need to make those mistakes because you are learning from them, which is very important. All the people you get to learn from, all the people who have had success stories from Airbnbs, they have made mistakes. Because they have made those mistakes, you wouldn't have to make those mistakes. All right. So what does the course that we have offer for you? There are 4 phases of the course. The first phase of the course would help you to master the STR concept. What does STR mean? Short-term rental. right? It will help you to master the SDR concept. The second phase of the course will teach you how to maintain your business. The third stage of the course will teach you how to monitor your performance. And the fourth stage of the course will teach you how to multiply, scale, and grow your business. Now, master the SDR concept. The first thing is under the first phase of the course, you're going to understand what SDR means, that's short-term rental, and how to operate within the industry. You're going to learn who your target audience is, so that when you're marketing and all of that, you know the people that you're supposed to target, you know where your direction should be on and your focus and all of that. You're going to learn about the local laws of different states so that you know what you're doing, and you're not going out of line. You understand? You're going to learn how to do your market research. Remember I talked about market research at the beginning. Under this, you're going to learn what are the sites that I need to use to keep track, to make sure that my Airbnbs are in areas that have high demand, to check average occupancy rates, right? Because I told you about average occupancy rates. What are the average numbers of people? How do people travel within that environment? Do they travel in group of twos? So I should be thinking about having a 2-bedroom flat in this area. Do they travel in group of 70s or, whatever? So you need to know the average occupancy rate so that you know how to what Airbnb should be getting or where your focus should be. For example, if you are getting an Airbnb in an area where people go on family vacations, right? So if you're going on a family vacation, you know that you are coming with a crowd. You can't be having a 1-bedroom flat as an Airbnb or a 2-bedroom flat. You're going to be thinking bigger. So you want to know the right areas to place your Airbnb. So you're going to be learning that, how to do your market research, how to find your first property, which is in line with that, how to make sure that you are profitable. How are you going to do your plus and minus and all of that to make sure that you are still profitable anyhow. When you pay your cleaners, when you pay for utilities, when you pay your rent, you are still profitable. You need to learn that. You need to learn how to establish your own legal entity, which is the first stage of the steps that I talked about before. You're also going to learn how to maintain your business. So how to make sure that you have the best listing that's available. The best listing that's available, that's how to rank on the top page of Airbnb. How to ensure that you are building a great team, because over time you're going to hands off and you're going to allow your team to manage. So you want to learn how to ensure that you're having the great team, the best team that can manage your business for you. How to ensure that you have the right amenities inside your home. So you're not just buying out of line, you're buying things that people need, not people want, right? You're buying things that make sense in your home. So you're not overspending or underspending, right? How to negotiate your lease with the landlord. So here you're going to learn the scripts that you can use. What are the things? How do you pitch to landlords? How do you position yourself? You need to position yourself as someone that could actually manage a business, as someone that could take care of their property. You need to say certain things to them. All of those things you're going to learn. You're going to also learn the offers that you're going to negotiate and all of that. Now, the second phase of the course is for you to, this is the third stage of the course here, for you to monitor your performance. You're going to learn about key performance indicators, right? So there are ways that you monitor how your business is actually doing. You can actually keep track of how well your business is doing. So you're going to learn that. You're going to learn about rent scheduling, the days that you're renting, the days you're not renting. You're going to learn how to market. I know a lot of Airbnb hosts, even on this call, that are not making profit. They are not scaling well because they don't know how to market. They don't know how to optimize their research and all of that. So you're going to be learning that on the course as well. You're going to learn what platforms are most profitable, because it's not just Airbnb we have other short-term rental platforms that you can use as well. You're going to learn all the metrics that it takes to run a successful business and maximize profits. You're also going to learn measurement systems that would help you monitor how well your business is doing. All right. So the final stage of the course, you're going to learn how you can do it over and over again. I love this part so much, because you're going to now scale within your country and internationally. You're also going to learn how you can automate your business. What are the tools that can help you automate your business? All of those things. And you're going to learn how you can run multiple Airbnbs, even internationally. All right. Now, what's the price for the course? Now, if you notice, right, when I wanted to learn Airbnb the first time, the average price that people charge for Airbnbs is from $3,000 to $5,000. You can do your research. But here, you can actually get this course for you here, right? You have a first-time payment of $999, but that doesn't just come with the Airbnb course. It comes with several other courses that surround Airbnb, so you can have multiple streams of income for yourself simultaneously. Turo and transport. I know some of you on the call don't know what Turo is. Turo is like an Airbnb, but for cars in this case. So you can actually run an Airbnb business and a car rental business simultaneously. And you do not need to own cars to do that as well. So you're running an Airbnb business, making money from Airbnb, running your car rental business alongside your Airbnb business. Even people that rent Airbnbs also rent cars a lot of times. So you can have a car parked in the compound and they are paying for the car while they are paying for your Airbnb. So you learn how to also two options for you to lease out your cars to people that need cars, people that rent out cars, and you're going to get paid on a daily basis, for your cars, and you're making good money simultaneously. You also have a course on financial literacy. Financial literacy would literally teach you about money, how money works. So while you're making money from Airbnb and all of that and car rental, you want to know how to put your money to good use, how to pass that money to generations, how to save, how to reinvest. The financial literacy course would also cover that for you. You'd also learn about metaverse and NFTs. Guys, metaverse, do you know what's on the metaverse? You can actually own real estate on the metaverse. You can buy pieces of land, construct buildings on the metaverse. You can actually own an Airbnb in the metaverse. So you see how it works hand in hand, right? People literally buy land, customize, or you can build anything on a piece of land. For example, if you build a mall on a piece of land, or you build an event center on the metaverse, people have weddings on the metaverse, people have events, concerts, and all of that. So you could actually get paid for your hall, right, on the metaverse and make money, right? So all of this comes with the course. You're also going to learn about digital marketing. So digital marketing will also give you exposure on how to market your Airbnb business or any other business that you're doing. So all of this comes with a course on $999 in your first month and a monthly renewal fee of $250. So imagine you paying your first time payments, making money from all of these sources simultaneously, or even just real estate, and you're just having to pay $250 to continue. Now, with this monthly renewal, you're going to also have access to a community of people who are already established in Airbnb, Turo, and all of that. So you're going to have access to coaches that could also guide you along the way. All right, now this is just one, but I know that there are also people on the call that might not necessarily be able to afford the first, the $999 for them to get the full course that comes with Airbnb, metaverse, Turo, car rental, financial literacy, and all of that. But you're able to get an offer that can help you start for a cheaper price for today. All right, now you have an opportunity to get a course, right, or a package that offers you 2 courses. Now, you get to pick 2 courses of your choice for $499, is approximately $500, of course, and a monthly renewal fee of $250, and a monthly renewal fee of $150, right? A monthly renewal fee of $150. So you can actually pick Airbnb and Turo. You can pick Airbnb and financial literacy. You can pick Airbnb and digital marketing. You can pick what's the 2 courses that you want for $500. But also you can pick one course. So if you just want to do your Airbnb and just do only Airbnb, you have an opportunity to get started at $199, which is approximately $200 for today. All right, so guys, that's not actually all that I have. I told you I have something very special at the end of the call, and this is it, right? Now, I have someone on this call, someone who's very, very special. This is someone that has worked with a lot of top people, right? A lot of people that have now actually generated success for themselves in digital entrepreneurship. He's a serial entrepreneur. He has, he's one of the people that has been coaching me all through in several areas. He has worked with multiple people from different parts of the world. He's well-grounded and he's a top coach on Airbnb and every other course that you see here and many more. Right, this person is on this call. And for those of you who are on this call and you want to learn extra ways that you can make money for yourself while you are taking the course, or extra ways that you can generate money to finance your course. So for example, if you want to do rental arbitrage, right, but you don't have money to furnish your property, he's going to be showing you other ways that you could make money to furnish your properties, other ways you can make money for other things while you're taking the course, basically, right? So guys, this person is someone who's very special. I literally had to do my best to get him on this call because he's always very, very busy. but he actually decided that he was going to take a while to come on here and show you guys what's possible, show you guys how you can, earn extra money aside, the courses, or earn extra money that you can use to finance your Airbnb is what I meant to say. So before I bring this person on, I just want you guys to give this person the welcoming that he deserves. He could be anywhere in this world right now. He could be doing anything right now, but he actually decided to take his time to come here and actually show you how you can get started, show you another means to make money and give you value. So guys, if you're in your house right now, you just want to stand up and start clapping, because this person that's coming on this call is someone that you will not have access to meet on a regular basis. So guys, go ahead and drop some fire emojis in the chat box while I welcome this person. If I don't see enough fire emojis, trust me, this person is not going to come on this call. So I want you to drop drum rolls in the chat box, drop fire emojis, drop, clapping hands, drop everything that you can drop before this person comes on this call to come and take it away. So guys, let's give this person a warm welcome in. The chat box is not encouraging in any way. It's not encouraging in any way. We can do better than this. Guys, let's keep it coming. Drop the fire emojis in the chat box. Drop the fire emojis in the chat box. Keep them coming. Keep them. Guys, I'm not impressed. We can do better than this. Let's raise the energy for this person. Let's give this person a standing ovation. Let's give this person some drum rolls. Let's give the person a very, very, very warm welcoming, because he definitely deserves it. Where today, but you actually decided to take a minute of your time, and it was really last minute, but you still decided to come through. And I'm so excited for you to be here, because you're very, very selfless. You left everything that you had to do to be on this call, so I really appreciate. Thank you for coming on. If you're ready, and if you're ready for us, if the energy is enough for you, then please take it away.
All right. Wow. That was super, super amazing. Guys, oh my days. That was a masterclass indeed. Kaetti, we need to discuss this masterclass, because this masterclass cannot be free next time. It absolutely had way too much value than I even thought about. It had way too much value than I imagined. And, I really, really, really want to give it back to you. You did amazingly well. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I'm super pumped up to be here today. I'm super excited, because I honestly believe that with the information you have just listened to, 2023 is going to be a great year for real, right? I know that with the information you have just listened to, 2023 is going to be a great year for real. And, guys, drop some love heart emojis in the chat box for that amazing young lady. Like, she did justice to that presentation. I don't think I've ever seen or heard it being done that way, but that was definitely superb. And if you appreciate, because gratitude is the seed for more, you want to make sure that you're actually, dropping those, love heart emojis in the chat box for Kaetti, because she did justice to that presentation. Thank you so much, Kaetti. Hello, everybody. Good evening once again. Good afternoon, good morning. It really depends on where you're plugged in from. But my name is Ikechukwu Odum, and like Kaetti said, I'm a digital entrepreneur. I'm a businessman. I'm a full-blown businessman, and she is someone whom I've worked with for going to 2 years now. Actually, going to 2 years now. We've worked together. We've created massive success, both for ourselves and for the people that we work with. We have a community of entrepreneurs, people who actually don't mind rolling up their sleeves to get work done in order for them to live a more beautiful life. And so if you've actually stayed on this call till this very point, it means that you're actually one of those people who are ready to take it to the next level. You're ready to take 2023 to the next level. You're done being regular. You're done being mediocre. You're done complaining because that's one attribute that we're very used to. when we don't get what we want, or when we're not getting things done, or things are not happening the way we want them, we're used to complaining. You're done complaining, and that's why you've decided to remain on this call till this very moment. So congratulations to you. And like Katie said, I'm going to be showing you, what is possible within our community. Okay, so I'm going to introduce you officially to our community, and I'm going to also tell you some of the benefits of what this community actually can do for you. Because what I'm about to show you is how you can actually use what we call leverage. Yes, you can actually use what we call leverage to get funding for your Airbnb business. Now, I'm sure with every single thing that you've seen, with every single thing that you've heard, you're excited, but you're actually doing the plus and minus, right? You're excited, but you're doing the plus and minus. Okay, how am I going to raise this? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And it's you're trying to connect the dots, right? You're trying to connect the dots. You're trying to connect the dots as to how you are actually going to now use this, how you can actually, this is like you really just starting a full-blown business. And so you need to plan it properly. You need to know, okay, this is what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to show you how you can be a part of our community. Now, mind you, the minute you actually take the course on the Airbnb, you automatically get access to our community of digital entrepreneurs. And we can show you how you can leverage on your network to get funding for your lifestyle and to get funding for your Airbnb business. So I'll just do a brief introduction of what the company is, right? So I'm going to share my screen real quick. Let me know once you can see my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. That's the changeover, I think. Yeah. Let me know once you can see my screen. Awesome. I'm sure you can see my screen. Drop a 5 in the chat box if you know you can see my screen. Drop a 5 in the chat box if you know you can see my screen. Drop a 5 in the chat box if you know that you can see my screen. Just drop a 5 in the chat box. Drop a 5 in the chat box. I want to get enough 5s in the chat. I want to get enough 5s in the chat. Okay, amazing. Great. So now, I'd like to introduce you to our community, Envision You. Envision You, you would find out Envision You, is the health and wealth company, right? But this company is really centered on impacting the lives of 1 billion people globally. And we're doing this through providing opportunities where people can actually become real-time entrepreneurs, because really that lifestyle that you deserve is not going to come to you, in whatever 9 to 5 you're possibly doing. No matter what, 9 to 5ers can never be as wealthy as entrepreneurs. And I'm not just talking about small business owners. I'm talking about entrepreneurs, right? Because that makes up the 5% of people that actually make the most money in the entire world. And so what Envision You has done is they've created a business formula whereby we're literally teaching you how you can leverage on your network to actually now make crazy amount of money for, yourselves. Now, this is pertaining to people who do not mind, alongside learning about your Airbnb business, alongside studying your course on Airbnb, what we're actually bringing to you is multiple streams of income, right? And so while you are actually pursuing your goals or your dreams, to become a real estate entrepreneur, you can actually now tap into the business and marketing formula that Envision You has made available to those in its community. Now, if we compare what we have traditionally in traditional businesses, right? People actually, spend a lot of money on marketing and advertising. And companies actually spend millions of dollars on marketing and advertising, paying influencers, hiring an advertising agency, hiring a media house, right? People that are going to now promote their products and services. They pay these people a truckload of money. But what Envision You has decided, because we have a community of people who are entrepreneurs, people who are continuously wanting to invest and better themselves, we have created a formula that allows you to now begin to earn from the marketing and advertising dollars. And this is where you're now going to be able to make crazy amount of money. Aside from the one going to make from your Airbnb business, you're now going to be placed in a position to actually now begin to make so much money. And guys, it would interest you to know that this year alone, Airbnb has a potential growth of doing about $9 billion, and you're at the very beginning of it. So you have an opportunity to get in and be positioned to do this. Now, when you get your course, like I said, you become a member of our community, and that gives you an opportunity to leverage on your network and begin to earn, by building a network of people who are like yourself. And for every single time someone decides to buy the course package, either the full pack that has all the courses, or they decide to take one course or two courses, guess what? Because you are a member of our community, Envision You is going to pay you for actually connecting people to this opportunity. Now, for every single person that comes on, that finds this opportunity, that finds that course, that actually decides to, get into the course on the bronze pack, which is actually the $199 pack, guess what? You will be paid $50 because you are a member of this community. For every single person that gets one course, you will be paid an instant paycheck of $50. And for every person that gets the two course pack, the $499 pack, you would earn an additional $175 on that registration, on that person coming on board, becoming a member of the community. Now, when people get on board on the gold pack, which has all the courses, which gives you access to several different streams of income, you would now begin to earn an additional $350 for anybody at all that actually now gets on the full course pack. Now, your network begins to grow and you begin to have other avenues to make money, right? You can now begin to build a network of people, entrepreneurs like yourself, people who want to also be in the Airbnb community, who also want to connect other entrepreneurs to become a part of the Airbnb community. Remember what Kaetti said about building your team. This is where building your team actually now begins to reward you on the side as a form of residual income. So when people actually now also get in, through the people that you have introduced to the community, you can also be paid an additional income of second and third level when people now begin to come in. Now, we also have other methods, right? We also have other methods that you can actually also begin to earn from. We have a binary system, right? And what the binary system does, it actually pays you on a weekly basis, depending on the number of the strength that your team is accumulating on a weekly basis. So the more you have people in your community, the more people you have in your team, you're going to be building a network of two different teams, a left team and a right team. And you're going to have people, becoming a part of your community and becoming a part of your team on a weekly basis. You are now going to be paid a percentage from a commissionable volume that is attached to the packages. So whenever someone buys a course, you have an opportunity to earn 10, 15, 20% whenever someone buys a course from actually, giving them an opportunity to become an entrepreneur. So now we also have another part where you can earn a binary check match. This is where when people in your team now begin to make so much money, you can now begin to get rewarded. You get paid an extra 50% anytime someone in your team makes money on the binary system. Anytime someone in your team that you directly, personally brought into the business gets paid in the binary system, you get to earn 50% of whatever it is that they earn. Now, we also have a residual payment system. This allows you to keep earning a residual stream of income every single month, ranging from $500 to $1,000 to $2,000 to $4,000 to $9,000. Guys, it keeps growing as your community keeps growing. The more people you have in your community, the more people you have who are actually, studying, learning the courses and paying their monthly subscriptions, you are going to now begin to earn an extra, right, stream of income. Now, this is not compulsory, right, for everyone. This is not compulsory for everybody. But what I'm going to do right now at this call, about now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open 5 mentorship slots. Now, there are 5 steps to success. I'm looking for we're just about 20 left, and that's completely fine. And I'm looking for the 5 most ambitious people. Now, most times when I open mentorship slots, they get filled out like pretty fast. And, Kaetti is a product of someone who benefited from my mentorship slots. And I have several other people who have, become extremely successful, in this industry because they were properly mentored. Now, I'm going to take you through the 5 steps to success. This includes me showing you the nooks and crannies of how you can become successful in your Airbnb business, and also how you can properly leverage on your network to create that truckload of income that you can pump into your Airbnb business for that success to become really, really fast. Because really, money makes the world go round. Okay, so now I'm going to do this for the very first 5 people. Okay, I'm going to do this for the very first 5 people. All right, now the very first 5 people, I'm only going to give them the opportunity to get started today. The first 5 people who are going to get started today. Kaetti, get the URL link ready for the registration. I'm going to watch out for the first 5 people who get started from this call today. Those people are going to earn a top spot at being personally mentored by myself. And I'm going to help you with your Airbnb business. I'm equally going to help you leverage on your network to enable you get that cash that you need to now pump into your business and become that successful, financially free person this year. So for those people who are ready to get the slots, the very first 5, go ahead and drop ready today in the chat box. I want to know those people who are definitely, after you've stayed from the beginning of this call to this very point, and you're excited about Airbnb, you're ready to get started, you're ready to take the next step, you are ready to become a full-blown digital entrepreneur this year, go ahead and drop ready in the chat box. Go ahead and drop ready in the chat box. I'm going to be looking out and picking just the very first 5 people. The very first 5 people. 2 slots are gone already. I'm going to actually be picking these people specifically. I'm going to put you on a mentorship program. And this is going to help you begin to see results within the next 6 months. Okay, so the very first 5 people, let me know in the chat box. I have Favor, I have Amir, I have Ogenerona, I have Lawrence, and I have Novais. Okay, so I have 5 people on the call already who have applied for this. So congratulations to all 5 of you, right? You have an opportunity to actually be positioned for greatness. Now, this year I set a goal, and my goal is to help 20 people put 20 people in a position where they can now begin to earn at least $8,000 to $9,000 every single month. All right, so 5 people from this call get 5 slots, right? Have the opportunity to be 5 out of the 20 that are going to be positioned, put in a position where they can earn that kind of money this year. So you guys, congratulations. Make sure you get back to whoever sent you the link to join this meeting. You want to get back to them immediately, all right? You want to get back to them immediately, okay? And we will be very, very excited to help you get started. I can't wait to celebrate you. I can't wait to see you all do great things with your Airbnb business. I can't wait to see you make so much money with our community this year. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kaetti, for putting this amazing masterclass together. I'm definitely looking forward to the next masterclass because I mean, it was quite unexpected, the kind of information you dropped here today. I'm really, really looking forward to the next one. So guys, get back to whoever sent you the link to join this meeting. Let them know you are ready to take the mentorship slots, and I will be looking out for those people who successfully get in from this call. Thank you. Have a beautiful, fantastic year. I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye, guys.